Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. Surah Nas, alhamdulillah, is a very powerful surah, and we'll come on to how we can understand it later as well. Shall we finish it off today? So again, just starting by being a bit more aware of your breath. So allowing a couple of breaths to come in through your nose, knowing where the breath is. You should be good at this by now, isn't it, really? Alhamdulillah, day 8. So we're starting the 4th week, if you've done the first course as well. So alhamdulillah, if you've been doing this consistently, you would have noticed, you can look back over the last 3 weeks and see how the way that you recite Quran has transformed, which is always nice. Anyway, so we'll start with the dua, yeah? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Again, taking your time. It's important to realize you're not meant to be copying me. You're meant to be reading it the way you read it. It might be a bit different to how other people might tell you to read the Quran, but it's the word of Allah. It's not like I didn't make it up or anything. So the whole point of reading is for you to connect with Allah. So it's all about you and how you recite it. It's important. So this whole course just brings your awareness to the way you recite, and then you are given the power to really enhance your recitation yourself. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Good. We're going to move on to the verse we did yesterday, keeping in mind all the rules, not thinking about it too much. We'll do it word by word. Alladhi. Good. The first word is entirely wide, so the hamza at the beginning is wide lips. Alladhi. If you smile, this letter will become easier. Alladhi yuwaswisu في صدور الناس في صدور الناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس. Good. It's a nice verse to really enhance the way that you read a lot of the letters. Then we move on to the last verse. Min al-jinnati wan-nas. من الجنة والناس. Good, mashallah. So today I do want to go through the whole thing and just very quickly recap the surah. So I'll give you time, take your time, and just see how the surah sounds. Don't worry about it too much. Just notice of it. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس. الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. Good, mashallah. That's the end of that surah. We're going to go a bit deeper into this surah. So we're going to go into how the translation and the meaning, more importantly. So before we start looking at the meaning, I want you to go back to Surah Fatiha and make sure you remember what all the words mean. And so if I asked you, what does min mean? So when we said A'udhu billahi min shaitan, what does that min mean? When we said A'udhu billahi, the bi before the name of Allah, what does that mean? What does sirat mean? What does mustaqim mean? What does ihdina mean? What does maghdub mean? So all of the words of Surah Fatiha, you should be comfortable with them. And especially for those of you who are more interested in actually learning Arabic as a language kind of thing, this would be a very simple and easy way to start off, because these are the words that we'll be reciting every day, and you'll start noticing that these words will repeat themselves. So when you learn the individual vocab and then you pray them in your salah and you become the meaning becomes second nature, your understanding of your salah will just be supercharged very, very quickly. So again, I'd recommend just if you can, just revisit the meaning of Surah Fatiha. Maybe appreciate the difference between the translation and the meaning. I think knowing the individual words is very powerful, because then you're not kind of limited to your understanding. There's no need for English then in your prayer. Does that make sense? So if you went through the 2-week Connecting to Allah, I don't know what it's called nowadays, but if you'd done the Surah Fatiha course, where you learn how to recite Surah Fatiha and the translation, you would have learnt the meaning of all the individual words. And as we go forward into Surah Nas, we're going to be using that information. We're going to be falling back on that knowledge. So it is important to keep your vocabulary up to date. Make sure you know the vocabulary of Surah Fatiha. And here we'll start building more vocab for Surah Nas. See you tomorrow, inshallah.